Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Chunky Tea and Friends. I've been working on this project for a little while now. It's all about just talking with people that I know, people that I've met along the way, talking to creatives and just talking about literally everything really, about their work, things that are going on in the world, all sorts of stuff. This episode is with the Permanent Sharpy. He's a very good friend of mine. A lot of interesting things we covered in this one. Talked about some very deep stuff with coping with lockdown and all that sort of stuff. I hope that people can take something away from this. And without further ado, check out this week's episode. Hello, mate. You haven't frozen. I've seen you moving.
You cheeky bugger.
I caught you.
Almost 1-0.
How we doing?
Yeah, I'm brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
Always brilliant.
Right, we'll just get into it then, shall we?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, how you been?
I've been, mate. I've been bloody fantastic, per usual.
Yeah, living the dream.
Always living the dream, mate. Got mad fancy house, got all my bits sorted, fancy new record player, a little shelf to put it on that I built, and it didn't hurt myself or anyone else in the process. So
how long did that take you?
Well, let's not talk numbers. Anyway, well, about 3 hours. But the point is, it's now it works.
Yeah. How many drawers are in it?
2.
So that's what, an hour and a half per drawer?
Well, all I see is it's 2 drawers. That's more than 1 drawer, isn't it? That's double the price.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So, how's lockdown been treating you, mate?
Lockdown's been hard, man. It's been difficult. Like, there's been a lot to think about. You get sat with your thoughts a lot. You give a lot of time for sort of self-reflection. On top of other stuff that I've had going on, it's been difficult. But a lot of the time, I'm realising now, is you need to go through breakdowns to recover and come out stronger. So even though lockdown on the whole was, for a lot of people, I think, a big negative, pulling the positive out of it's that time to self-reflect. And when you come out the other end, you come out a stronger person. You know more about yourself. You know more about what you want. And I am thankful for that.
Yeah. I mean, I was exactly the same. But, I mean, obviously, I thought I was quite mentally strong going into lockdown. Like, generally, I thought, I suppose I thought quite a bit about myself.
I think you figured it out, sort of thing.
Yeah, I was like, well, it is what it is. But then when it came down to it, after like the first few weeks, I was just like, I can't do this. I realised how much not unhealthily dependent on socialism I was. Not socialism, I suppose that's a political thing. But like, as in the social aspect and that, I realised how much I needed people around me.
You forget, don't you? You take it for granted every day when you're going out, you're going in town, you're seeing people. And when it gets all stripped back, it's the little things that make up the big things. And it's the little things of everyday life that people miss, which, in fact, are the things that are important, that make up who you are as a person and how you get through life and how you get through every day, and the little things that you don't think you see, which make you happy. But then again, like I said a minute ago, like, it takes all that to be stripped away to realise the importance of it. Yeah,
definitely. Like, them little things. There's that like really fucking cliche phrase, isn't there? Of what is it? Notice the small things, because one day you'll realise there's big things. And it's always, like I say, it's a cliche sort of phrase, but it's the lockdown has really sort of taught me that is true. Like, don't worry about them that stupid shit. Worry about the little things of spending some time with people, being able to just, organise this or do this.
Yeah, I get you. It's like everyone's always in a rush. I feel like people are getting nowhere fast. Everyone's like, oh, I've got to get this, or I've got to get this stage of my life. I got this. It's like, be happy with where you are now. Yes, have goals to strive for things, but if you are always thinking, I'm not happy until I get this, you'll never be happy, because you'll get it, the novelty will wear off, and then it's the next thing that the fucking media is trying to sell you, or it's the next big stage of your life. And it's good to look forward to those big stages, but if you're not,
they can't be the be all and end all, can they?
Yeah, and if you need something to be happy, and you're saying, I'm not going to be happy until I get this, then you need to assess why you're not happy in the moment.
Yeah, I feel a lot of the time it's actually, a lot of people strive to become happy when really, like, to get something to become happy, when really they need to remove something that they already have.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? People seem to get wrapped up with like adding to the happiness rather than removing the unhappiness.
Exactly what I said what we said a minute ago. You've got to strip it back. You've got to strip it all back to assess it. And people get, because they're going 100 miles an hour, they've got this going on, that going on, and it gets all fogged and clouded. It takes a lot of just taking 5 minutes to step back and assess things and say, strip it back to, is this making me happy, yes or no? Is this making me happy, yes or no? Is this making me happy, yes or no? And if one of those things out of the three is no, then fuck it off.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, get wrapped up in the whole, it's not that easy. But actually, the idea of removing it isn't happy, but it's isn't easy. Sorry, but it is easy. Like, when in hindsight, it's easy. Often, if you know what I mean.
People build up these emotional barriers, and I've been there, and I've done it myself. But like I say, it takes a breakdown to recover and understand these sort of things a bit clearer. And like you said, people are like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh no, what, it's like these are invisible walls that you're putting up.
Yeah.
And it's just getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, because you're going into the unknown. If you strip that away, if you strip something that you are so used to yet makes you so unhappy, if you strip it away, you don't know how life's going to progress then. But
no,
it's better than life progressing in the same old miserable shit that you're used to.
Yeah.
It's just getting comfortable enough to be like, right, let's see where life goes from here. And 9 times out of 10, stripping away that negativity, you're going to find you're going to end up in a better place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, we'll never see another, I hope we never see another situation like this, but I'm hoping that coming out of it all, everybody is like yourself, like a lot better off with it, like a lot more.
Yeah.
I've said to a lot of people, like, I'm not really a spiritual guy, but I've said I've come out of it a lot more spiritual, a lot more sort of like,
likewise.
Got to be one with your zen, so to speak.
You have to, man. You got to ask yourself again. You got to ask yourself what makes you happy. And at the end of the day, this lockdown, all this, that, and the other, it's been awful. But it also could have been a lot worse. And you got to think, it was like that, and we was in lockdown, and nobody saw it coming, and that's why everybody was running around, like I said, headless chickens.
Yeah.
So if you're I need this to be happy tomorrow. Well, tomorrow might not, it might.
Yeah.
You've got to be happy in yourself now.
Yeah.
You've got to do the things that make you happy, because I know it's a cliche in saying it, but it could be your last day. Live every day like it is your last day, and you will be happy as fucking ball sacks. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I've done
That's
a lot
a phrase enough, isn't it?
It fucking is. But like I say, I've done a lot of soul searching over the past few weeks and whatnot, and I've not got any negatives in my life now. There's things that I want and things that I'm going for, but if I was to die tomorrow, I've had a great day. I've built a fucking bookshelf. I've got a record player that I ordered, which I was like, hey, that's sick. That's cool. I'm not saying that I needed the record player to be happy, because I was still happy anyway. But I do like grooving to a few beats, as we all do. But I've not done a massive amount. I've seen one of my friends, and we've had a nice catch up. It's been a real chill day, and there's been nothing that's a major thing or a major event or a big step. And you know what? It's been fucking brilliant. and it's the little things that you start to notice, and then the more you notice them things, the more you've got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I've one of my big Zen things that I've got now is that my big thing is if I'm not adding anything productive to this situation or conversation or anything, I just don't bother with it anymore.
You just get rid of them. Yeah,
like I used to find myself just scrolling through Facebook or just in a conversation, and you just like you'll say something, and like it might be funny or whatever. I suppose it's a bit different if you can you can get a laugh out of something without being too harsh on people. But like I find myself commenting and being like, I need to chime in here, and then I'm like, well, actually, what I'm putting isn't productive. It doesn't add value to anybody's life.
Yeah.
So why am I even bothering wasting my time and energy on this?
Yeah, I get it, man. It's like, I mean, I'll do it, and I'll post things that I think is funny, and it's another thing as well. Like, whether it gets a laugh or not, if I think something's funny and it'll make me chuckle, I'm the biggest commitment in my life. People come and go, but if I can make myself laugh and myself happy through something like that isn't causing harm to anyone, then I'll put the comment in. If it gets no laughs, it gets no laughs. But I've made myself happy with it. But yeah, I've had a fucking good time. On top of that, you'll find having that sort of mindset, you are going to get more laughs.
Yeah.
Because you don't care. Like, people need to stop looking for validation from people. Like, you see it all the time. I mean, obviously, I personally train, and I think a healthy life and fitness is important, but especially for my own training, I obsessed too much with that to the point where I needed that validation of people saying you're in shape, or you're getting bigger, or you're getting leaner. And if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't be happy. And I thought, fucking hell, of somebody's life that means no difference to, some passing comment, you're looking a bit smaller today, and then I'll fixate over it, and I worry, and I'd be like, I'm worrying over nothing. I can't control what other people do or say. And so what's the point in worrying over something that isn't in your control? And on top of the fact, you realise that comment doesn't affect your life if you don't want it to affect your life. Yeah. You've got to honestly be confident in yourself and know you're going to do things because you want to do them, and you're going to try and make people laugh, but it's more about making yourself laugh and just generally be happy in yourself. And it takes a lot to find that, but when you get to that point and you realize other people's comments can't hurt you, and other people's actions and this and that, people are going to talk about you regardless. And it's a big thing of anxiety, and I've suffered from it, and I know a lot of people else that have. And the big thing is, but these guys are going to be talking about me. They're going to be saying this. They're going to be saying that. Or what if they think I'm doing this? What if I'm that? It's all hypothetical because you don't know what's being said. And two, if there is stuff being said,
what does it matter?
What does it matter, man?
Yeah.
It does not affect your life if you don't want it to. You've got to be in control of your life. And then if you grasp that and you do the things that make you happy and get rid of negativity out of your life, you haven't got negativity. And every day is your best day.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, man. It's quite inspiring, that, to be fair. And like you say, I think it's one of those things where you have to sort of break down your life and your sort of scenarios and what's going on and build on that. And it's very much like, as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, it doesn't matter how big the steps are. Like, exactly. As long as you are moving forward, your fucking heart's still beating, there's still air in your fucking lungs, you're doing well. Do you know what I mean? Definitely.
It's a perspective thing. And like I said, the world's going to continue to spin. We can't go back or stay in the moment. We're going to move with it. So you might as well fucking be happy about it.
Yeah.
And beat as much as people say, I ain't control of this, I ain't control of that. If it's your life, you have got control. You've got complete control over everything that you do, what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. Yeah. And it's fucking Joe Blogs down the road. He's entitled to his opinion, and I think you're this, that, and the other. But you're also entitled to yeet his opinion out the window because it don't fucking it don't matter, man.
It doesn't affect you.
Just find what fucking honestly, it's what makes you happy as a person, and that's going to be different for everyone. But
Yeah.
as long as you're happy and you do the things that make you happy, if it's a career, if it's a relationship, it's this, that, yeah. Oh, I've worked my way up for 10 years in this career, but I hate it, but I can't go to this other job. Yes, you can. If you want to fuck it off and go to McDonald's, I had a great time working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, money's not the be all and end all, mate. Money's fucking plastics, paper. It doesn't do anything. Like, people rely too much on material fucking shit to be happy. Like, you got to find what's important to you. And a fucking PlayStation or a fucking wad of cash or whatever ain't gonna bring me the joy that I will get through experiencing things and sharing those experiences with the people that are closest to me.
Yeah. Would you say you're more of like a people person? Do you just want to just explore people, if that makes sense?
I just want to explore, man. Generally anything creative, anything that is going to stimulate my brain is going to give me something that I do not already possess. If an idea, a way of thinking, or anything that I don't have a knowledge of, I would like to learn about that, because it's going to help me grow as a person, and me growing as a person is going to add to what makes me happy. And knowledge is power, man. The more
definitely.
you open up and you embrace sort of like, right, teach me this or teach me that, and listen. Like a lot, I always say, like, listen to understand, don't listen to respond. Like, if you don't know something and you want to know about it, listen to what people are saying. Even if it's something you do know about, and someone else has been like, oh well, I've thought, what if it's like this, rather than going, well, actually, I'll tell you this. Like, listen to what they're saying, because they've got a different life. They see things differently through their eyes. And the more you open up to the potential, the idea that everybody's right to themselves, and you will learn more. And the more you learn, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you can get a grasp on what your happiness is.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I'm someone who I quite like. I mean, I have my opinions, and I can often be quite like strong with them, and sort of be like, this is what I think. But I do. I very much like to hear both sides of a debate. A story, or even. I mean, that's one of the reasons I've started this podcast, is because I want to just talk to people, especially creative people, because that will inspire me. And whether it inspires other people who watch the show or anything like that, then so be it. But that's the reason I wanted to do it. I was like, I've got that many people on here that that are going to come on the show, or that I've got on Facebook, that are friends with. I've sort of, I've lived this. I've been on this planet 30 years. I've always been fairly creative, and I'm just like, I can talk to these about creative stuff, and that if that inspires me, like this conversation, if it inspires me to go draw something or create something or whatever, and I've got it to go back to, and that's like the main thing. And I just want to find out what inspires people, what their sort of viewpoints are of the world, and all that sort of stuff.
It's like I say, it's a portal used. It's a media platform used for expressionism.
Yeah.
And expressionism is very subjective and individual to the person, and goes off what I've just been saying about, like, what one person sees as art over here is going to be different to what someone else sees over here. That doesn't mean either of them are right or wrong.
Yeah.
But to know both of those perspectives, and then to know my own and to know yours, is going to help me expand on what I see is beautiful in the world, and what I see is something that I would hold dear to.
Yeah. Just going back to what you said about art being subjective, that's one of the big things I've said. Like, people have spoken to me when I've been tattooing and stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't know how you can draw and stuff like this. I can barely draw a stick man, etc. Or some people will say, like, oh, I can do a bit of a drawing, but I'm not very good. And I'm like, well, some people might find it good. Like, you know what I mean? Picasso might have done a painting and been like, that's shit, but he's fucking, well, he's not minted because he's dead as fuck, but like, but like, do you know what I mean? He's such a big success, and just because it's popularly, is that even a word? Like, just because it's like the general consensus is that it's good, but there's artists out there. There's one that I'm sure he's called like Mr. Doodle, and he just gets like a canvas and he just gets a marker pen and he does these like wacky like little men and all that sort of stuff. And I don't think he makes millions from it, but I think he makes a living from it and it makes him happy. And like, you know, a lot of people, like if I saw that on a notebook or some, you know, a kid had drawn it in like a secondary school class, maybe just be like, oh, it's just doodles, whatever. But like, there's something about what he's created that more people pick up on. He's putting it out there, and I just sort of say to people, well, if you want to be an artist, create art that you enjoy and that you like, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And it's very much the same of like, be proud of what you're doing and take the happiness in what you're doing.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, for asking me for his perspective of what art is, I think everything is art and everybody is an artist.
Yeah,
I think it's a matter of it's subjective and it's a perspective. Like, you can look at anything and it could be a little dead bug on the floor, it could be the Mona Lisa, but you can look at anything and see it as art. Anything that is what's called a juxtaposition, so it's like just suppose this scene, so just suppose this is happening at the moment. And you know, you could. Well, I'm trying to think of an example now. Yeah, so I've got my pair of trainers on it. I'm down here, right? This.
You just got to show off your trainers, don't you?
I do, mate. Okay, I like doing those. And this pair, and this pair. But no, like you could look at this and say that's a trainer. You could say that is art, right?
Yeah.
You could say.
I think it is. Someone's designed that, haven't they?
No, not even to the point of that. I'm talking about the juxtaposition of it. You know, you've got the mud coming down here and whatnot. You can see that they've been worn. They've gone through shit. They've gone through shit. You know, I've worn these. You look at someone else's trainers. You don't know where they've been. You don't know what that story tells with it. There's all scuffs and whatnot. It shows that they've been through a bit of hard time. Then the person wearing has probably gone through a bit of hard time at the same time. But at the same time, you know, when you got a nice pair of trainers, you want to show them off and you want to find the good. So you're there proud of what you want to wear, and you know how you want to go through life, so to speak, with that. But then you can also see at the same time there's turmoil on it. So it's the contrast between the two. And it's just, you can create anything like that, and that's from a fucking trainer. So imagine anything else, you know, you could pick up like that. And like, I've done lots of different forms of art, or, you know, creativeness. I've gone from drawing to music to podcasting myself, to fashion, to different fucking hairstyles. You get, everything is art, as long as it's giving out expressionism and it's giving you something back. Anything that will give you a form of emotion, whether it is a dance, whether it is an old fucking trainer, whether it is a piece of music, anything that gives you a form of emotion is art. And it's that matter of perspective. And everything in the world is beautiful if you look at it like that. And then when you see stuff like that, you start becoming a lot happier, and you see a lot more positives than the negatives. It outweighs it. Yeah. Everybody's a creative, man. Everybody has the potential to see art. It's just whether or not you want to take off the fucking blindfold.
Yeah. I think a lot of people struggle with the skill set as well, don't they, when it comes to creating stuff? Because I've met a lot of people in my time that are very much, they're like, oh, I've got this idea for this, but they just don't know how to implement it. They haven't got the skills to implement it.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people struggle with that. I mean, my dad being one, who's like, he loves music, but like in his era, it was never accessible to learn music or you know, pick up instruments quite as easily from like a working class family. So he's like, I've always said, he's like a sort of a trapped musician, and he's like pushing 60 now. So he's like, he's sort of like, what's the point of learning? but then also is like I've missed the boat with being able to pick things up as easier. And I think obviously as you get older, it's just that bit harder to pick up them new skills.
I can understand that, but I can also say as well, you might have missed the boat, but you don't want to be on that boat. You're on your own little boat. You're on your own little yacht. You are carrying yourself through life, and no matter what age you are, if you're breathing, man, you've got some soul in you, and you've got some passion in you. There ain't no boat you can miss. There ain't another one coming along.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very much like that when I've spoken to him about it. I'm like, well, what's stopping you? You know, I had a lad in the studio a couple of days ago, and he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm 28 and I'm thinking about doing this, but I'm too old. And I'm like, well, bro, I'm 2 years older than you, for starters. And, like, I didn't pick up tattooing professionally till I was 27. Obviously, I dabbled a bit before, but I'm just like, what is stopping you? Don't tell me you're too old. I'm 2 years older than you, and I've done it at your age. Like, just pick stuff up. Just do it.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
What was I thinking about the other day, actually? It was like, say you were 30 years old, right, and you wanted to retrain as a doctor. Now, uni for doctors is about 7 years, I believe, plus like all your A-levels and the GCSEs if you need them to get to that point. You're looking probably about a decade. Yeah. Right? So people are like, no, it's too late to start. It's too late. Right. If you're 30 then, when you are 40 years old, that will come around in 10 years.
Yeah.
Would you rather be 40-year-old doctor or 40-year-old, or I'm definitely miserable too old bastard. Now? Time is going to move on regardless.
Yeah.
So you might as well do the things that you want to do in the moment and not waste time with it, because it's never too late. But obviously, the longer you leave it, you're pushing that a little bit more. And, you know, if you want to do something, just fucking do it.
Yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf it.
Yeah,
just do honestly, it. I must admit, the older I'm getting, the more that he makes sense.
I like Shia LaBeouf a lot. Like, he's got. It's funny as well. Same with Jim Carrey. I was thinking about this a lot as well, where a lot of like expressive creatives, especially in Hollywood and things, and as people start to self-reflect a lot, and then out of all the normality and whatnot of how everyone is and how everybody's supposed to be, and we're all supposed to fit in like this, and if you do this you're weird, or if you do that you're weird. The Shia LaBeouf and like I say Jim Carrey especially, I remember when they lost the plot, and there's these interviews, and everyone's like, wow, they're being fucking so odd, like, why is it? It's like, yeah, because it doesn't fit in with the normal stuff, because it is them going above, doing what they want to do and showing their views on things, and because that doesn't fit in with the rest of the sheep, that is then ridiculed.
And it's not. And I think a big thing as well, especially with like celebrities like them who are in Hollywood, is the big thing is they're not fitting in with their brand. So you know that for a fact they've got a team of people around them, agents and managers and directors, all that sort of shit. They're going, mate, stop it! You've got a film coming out soon, and we can't tarnish it.
What's going to lose us money here?
Yeah.
And it comes back to it. There is more important things than money. And when people start realising that, they start stepping above the crowd.
Yeah. But especially when you've got more money than you need. Like, you know, like the bigger celebrities. Then when they're like, actually, I know for a fact I don't need to earn any more until the day I die, even if I live to 110. I'm doing what I want to do. Like, I've worked hard to get to this point. I'm comfortable.
You should anyway.
Fuck you.
Like, as long as you've got running water, you got food in there, in fridge and whatnot, and you've got roof over your head. Yes, everything else, the little niceties. It's nice to work hard for those, to have those extra home comforts. But if you've got those few necessities, you've got everything you need to live.
Yeah,
and people, I need to get this money. I need to get this because I need to get this bigger thing, that, and the other. So. And this is how our media is formed and everything is to get us to buy things to fund shit that we don't need, and then it goes in this cycle. But like I say, don't get me wrong. Like I say, I like a few niceties in life and whatnot, and I'll spend money on them, and I'll treat myself to this, I'll treat myself to that, but I don't need it.
No.
If I didn't have it,
I suppose like on the other side, it's like. there's no point working so hard to get the money and just keep it in the bank.
Depends what you're
Got
working so hard for.
yeah,
Because if you're working so hard to get yourself into a career so you can have loads of money, and then you don't know what you want to do with that money, you're getting nowhere fast.
no,
Because you're going to use this money. Right, I need loads of money. Right, why do you need loads of money? Just because it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to have all this money?
yeah,
Yeah, but why do you need loads of money?
yeah,
Well, just have a few holidays, and well, you can have holidays anyway.
yeah.
Why do you need to be a millionaire?
Yeah, I think a lot of people worry as well, though, like especially with the current climate, even more so of like, oh shit, I need to make sure I've got lots of savings, you know, because like I mean, you must have been told it when you were younger of like make sure you put some away just in case, make sure you got savings, and you're like fuck off, man, I'm spending it on this, but like. I mean, I'm like a bit more like it at the minute, but I'm someone who's, you know, I've got a business that if we go for another lockdown, we're going to struggle like fuck. Do you know what I mean? So there is that sort of worry there, but a lot of people overly worry and did so before. And they're like, no, you must have a minimum of £15,000 in your savings at all times, just in case. Well, just in case of what? I mean, this lockdown hasn't cost anybody that much. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, on a general basis, like...
Well, on the general consensus, worrying is an unproductive tool because worrying solves nothing, man.
Yeah.
Stressing solves nothing.
Well, my dad was telling me about a similar thing to that. It was like, he said, if you worry about it, you punish yourself twice. So, like, you sit and worry about it, and you're punishing yourself, and you're worrying, and you're getting all anxious and worked up. And then, if it doesn't happen, you've punished yourself. If it does happen, then you're worrying again.
Exactly.
You're you're hurting yourself a second time when you didn't need to. Yeah,
100%. Like a good friend of mine told me as well. It was like, I wouldn't say the word worry, but if scared as he was, now you know, there's things I come through. I was scared because I thought this might happen or that might happen. It's like, well, this might happen, that might happen. It's not happened. Don't anticipate being scared.
Yeah.
Be scared when a situation arises that you need to be scared from, and then deal with that accordingly.
Yeah.
But, you know, take it for example, you're walking home through a dodgy neighbourhood or something on a night. Oh, I'm scared because I could get stabbed. Oh, I'm scared because someone could mug me, this and the other. Well, so far, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So why put your body through all that stress?
Yeah.
Without, isn't it? If that does happen, then your body's going to have that instinct, get your adrenaline going, and you're going to deal with that situation. But if it doesn't happen, you've gone on a nice moonlit walk.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people can like sort of manifest that without even. Do you know what I mean? Like there could be a situation where you're walking through a neighbourhood like that, you're all worked up, and then a total stranger that's doing exactly the same is walking behind you, and then actually you turn around and get defensive, and that could escalate into something ridiculous. When actually you were both people who were just scared to start with over nothing. If there's nothing there to scare you, why are you getting worked up?
Massively. And it's something that I think that can be taken through a lot of different aspects of life. Like say, oh, well, like that whole thing, well, if we go into lockdown again, oh, what if this, that, like that? Well, it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
When it happens, if it happens, we'll deal with the situation.
Yeah, I think you have to weigh up you have to weigh up potential risks. Do you know, like to an extent. But I get what you're saying, and I'm on board with that. Of like, you know, if you're walking around somewhere, what is look around you? What is there currently to be scared of? Like, nothing. Let's take another step forward then. Is there anything else that's to be scared of? No. Keep going forward. And then if you get to a point where you're like, that doesn't look right, what's going on, then assess what's going on.
And again, it's the unknown of that. And then if you go forward and you're going forward and you go forward, if you go through life and there is nothing at all to be scared of, then at the end of the day, things that scare us teach us lessons.
Yeah.
And you need to learn those lessons to grow.
Yeah.
So don't be scared of things that potentially might happen, and you'll find you will have a lot more of a relaxed, happier time. And if you do suffer from anxiety and things, that also becomes a lot easier to cope with. But you will get to those stages in life, which is inevitable, where you need to be scared for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But then when you're in that situation, how you deal with it teaches you lessons that make you the person that you are. And from that, you grow. Because it's that whole, like, you'll either win or you'll learn. There's no lose.
No.
There's only a lose if... Well, there is no lose. Because at the end of the day, we were all moving forward. This earth is moving forward and we are going with it. So we know, regardless of what situation arises, the sun's going to rise and the sun's going to set. And we are going to come out with the next day. Yeah. And the next day. And the next day. Yeah. And we will... As the people we are, and like, I hope everyone's a little bit similar to I am, a lot of self-reflection done over lockdown. Regardless of any situation that comes about, I will handle it. My house could burn down tomorrow. It could have a gas explosion. It could burn down, whatever. And that'd be shit. But I will handle it, and I will wake up the next day. It won't be at my fucking house because it'd be too cold. It'd probably be at someone else's house.
Yeah, my sofa probably.
Probably your sofa, yeah. And then we will assess that situation, and then we will build back up. We will carry on moving forward, and I will get another house, and I will get new things, and you will progress back up. Everyone goes, "Oh no, that's the end. That's the end." No, it's not, because fucking trees carry on being trees. Grass goes on being grass. They don't give a fuck about no drama. They just carry on being a tree like that.
Yeah.
They just do that.
Just being a tree.
If you just be a fucking tree, man, and they just don't give a shit, and they'll carry on doing their thing, living as you will, as we will. The sun will rise, the sun will set, and we will carry on moving forward because there is no stopping and there is no going backwards. And you can either roll with that or you can try your best to stop. And if you try to stop, you're going to find yourself in a really fucking dark place. So fucking move with it, and you'll find yourself a lot happier.
Yeah. You've definitely become a lot more spiritual than I have over lockdown, I think.
Look, I've done some bits.
I've seen things.
I've done some bits, but regardless, man, it's helped me a lot, and I've never been as happy as I am now. And if I can impart anything that I've learned, whether or not people agree with it or don't agree with it, again, opinions out the window, because it makes me fucking happy. And I get up at 8 in the mornings on my day off now. I have a coffee, I dance around the house, I clean, I enjoy doing that. I go for every aspect of my life now being ecstatically happy. And I enjoy every fucking second, man. Yeah.
And if you're sad one day, you're sad. Like,
of course, some days you're gonna have down days, because you're gonna find you can't have the good without the bad, because if you did, then the good wouldn't seem as good, because you wouldn't have anything to compare it to. And those days will come, but they're coming a lot more few and far between. On top of it being like, there's always a positive out of a negative, and like again, cosmetics, you have a win or you learn. And if there is a lesson that needs to be taught there. Oh man, this is fucking happening. I'm having a shit day. All right, why is it shit? All right, because of this. Right, well, how do we change that, and how do we go from that so that doesn't happen again? And then you knock that nail on the head, and then a few more days later, a few weeks later, you knock that nail on the head, and it just teaches you to grow as a person. You learn more about yourself, more about the world you live in, and you'll find yourself just being happier. Yeah. In general.
Yeah, man. I'm a big believer in, and I suppose it depends on how you actually properly look at the situation, but I'm very much a believer of everything happens for a reason, and that even the shit stuff is there to sort of test you. And I don't believe in big God or anything like that. I just believe that there is a means and a plan for the way that this all goes on. And I've had people who have we've been close to that have died or anything like that, and at the time it's shit and you're just like, fuck's sake, you know what I mean? You do the grieving, you do this, that and the other, but then like a year on, 2 years on, you go, well, if that person hadn't have died, probably wouldn't have met this person, and I probably wouldn't have learned this, and I probably, do you know what I mean? All them sort of like, there's a theory, isn't there, that every decision you make splits into like a load of different universes and all that sort of shit. But I'm a big believer of you're on your path, and that with them shit things happening, and especially how you look back on them and reflect on them, that they have happened for some reason. I mean, I've got no end of stories. I'm sure I've told you before when we've had chats and stuff and got deep on fucking when we've had a few drinks and stuff. But like, there's a lot of like big things in my life that I'm like, actually, I could be a very different person now. Like, if that person hadn't have died, if I hadn't fallen out with this person, if I hadn't, do you know what I mean? And as though they're shit, and you might get down, you've got to look. This has happened for a reason. Let's carry on moving forward and find them positives.
100%. I say everything does happen for a reason, and I find for those things that happen and whatnot, I say this person. What if this happened? What if that happened? A lot of people say, like you just said, like, well, if this person hadn't died, then I wouldn't have met this person out. It's like, what? But they did, or this did. Is saying, what if this? Well, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything's happened to make you the person that you are. And you could say I'll be a different person if this happened. And it's like, yes, you probably would be a different person if this happened. But it didn't. Yeah. And it has happened the way it's happened. And that's why even I look back at every shit time I've had in my life, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because it's made me who I am now. And every little decision, every big decision has made me the person that will grin ear to ear at this moment, because I am fucking happy. I'm not worried about the future. I'm not worried about the past. I'm worried about how I feel at the moment, and I feel fucking brilliant. And people can be like, oh, he's been over the top of this, that, and the other. It's like, I don't give a fuck, because it is how I am. Yeah. And if I have the people in my life that want to see me do well, and I want to see them do well, and we all want to bring each other up and all provide that positivity. But the minute, and it doesn't matter what relationship it is to anyone, if I feel like someone's done something to bring me down, to either make themselves feel better or generally just because they don't want to see me do well, I'll not get angry about it or upset or bitter, because that is something that affects me, not the other person. I'll just say, see you in a bit. And I'll carry on doing my thing. Not waste your
time with it,
Exactly. Carry on doing my thing, mate. That's it.
Yeah. Just with the everything happens for a reason, I think it's more for me, it's more of a looking back and being grateful for the shit times, if that makes sense. I know it's quite odd to say
I get
to be grateful for them, but like
you need
like I say, that whole thing of like I said, it's not looking back with so many ifs and buts, but it's just like, actually, I'm grateful that this shit has happened to me, so that I can be who I am and be appreciative of where I am now, rather than where could be a potentially far shitter place. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people get like trapped in that negativity of like, why does it happen to me? It's always me. Oh, for God's sake. I'm like, well, you're just attracting them vibes. If you're not gonna look for the positivity and work forward, you're not gonna progress your life. And it's that whole thing of like manifesting it and creating your own sadness.
You're in control of your own life, and if you're the one sat here saying, oh, well, this happens to me, that happens to me, that, you're letting other things take control of that. Like, it's all good and well saying I'm not happy because of this, but if you keep saying that, it's Einstein that actually defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah. Because it won't happen. You need to step out of that comfort zone, and you get out what you put in. And a lot of the time, it requires some hard work. Yeah. But if you put in hard work, you will get out hard work, and you will get results out of it.
Do you think a lot of people, particularly sort of our generation and like this day and age, do you think a lot of people are scared of that hard work with the way that the world is?
I think a lot of people want something for nothing.
Do you think they look for a quick fix rather than...
Yeah, but then again, it's quick fix for wanting, like, I want some easy money, I want some this. I want the next new this. I want to fucking games test this so I can get this new PlayStation or product test this new TV. And I think it comes down to what people actually want. And a lot of the time, it's stuff that doesn't really have an impact on your life. You know, it's like Bob Marley said it, didn't he? It was like, in an interview, someone said, are you rich? And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, well, have you got a lot of possessions, a lot of things? And he's like, oh, possessions make you rich? He's like, no, I don't have that type of riches, man. I'm rich in other ways.
Yeah.
You know, through knowledge and being at peace with yourself and stuff. And it sounds all hippy-dippy and all this, but again, like, regardless of what it sounds like, it fucking works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are scared of hard work and whatnot, but then I don't know if they are. I think if people they're scared of hard work for things that don't really have much value in life.
Yeah. What I think though is I don't think they're necessarily like, because I don't think anyone's born like scared of hard work, but I think in the society we have today, it's very much conditioned, and you sort of tricked. Especially, I sound really old, but like I worry for the younger generations that are seeing, you know, it's like the weight loss pills, it's the, drugs and all that sort of stuff. It's the Botox, sort of all them sort of like
so
lipo,
everything to say
like that.
Not,
everything's like that, and it's
all
like you don't have
things.
to do the effort; you just get the result.
Yeah. And all those things are pretty much there to say, look, you are not good enough without this. You are not attractive enough without this. You are not fit enough without this. You need this because it's supply and fucking demand.
Yeah.
And that will always be that, because a lot of people won't come out of this fucking faded fog where the most important thing to them is the newest fucking TV or the newest this, the newest that, which all requires the big money.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I think as people would start to hopefully self-reflect a little bit more, and hopefully lockdown's done that for a lot of people, on what is important in their life and what actually brings value to their life, I think
you see that changing.
They would begin to work harder, because they're working so hard to get this, or they're like, oh man, it's too hard to get that, so I just can't be fucking arsed. But when it's something that is fake happiness or it's just shit, then I can understand why people are like, I don't want to fucking work hard for that. What's the fucking point? Like, it's fucking TV, man. Like, but then when you say no, happiness is to me anyway, the experiences that you get to share with your friends and your family and the people that are important in your life, and for your own self-happiness and things that you want to work on that are important to you, I think people will work a lot fucking harder.
Yeah, I think I could definitely see it changing. I can see it, but I do, like I say, I do worry about that. I mean, you're not much younger than me, so you've seen it as well. Of like, it's like even with my daughter, with Elsie, she can't cope if Netflix ain't happening quick enough. Do you know what I mean? Because they're in a world where everything's there. Touch a button, it's go. It's, you know, like teenagers are seeing that these, you know, actors or influencers and all that sort of stuff, they've lost weight in a month because they've been taking this miracle shit, even though it's fucked them up and fucked the livers up and all that sort of stuff. They're seeing them results, and whereas I think probably our generation is probably one of the last generations that, you know, if you wanted to watch a film, we had to rent it from Blockbuster, or we had to rewind the video. Do you know what I mean? We had that patience of we have to work for that. It's
ruined that magic, man. You know, I mean, you use Blockbuster as an example, man. Going down to Blockbusters and picking out a film and, you know, taking it home and getting your sweets from the shop, and that's all part of it. And I think that sort of magic's been lost. Yeah, you know, I feel like that's that part of it, because everyone's too bothered about ease of use and
quick, consume.
Exactly, right? You know, because the quicker someone can consume, the quicker that they can fucking get more of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rather than actually taking a step back and seeing what it is that they enjoy about whatever activity it is they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like for you. Obviously, you used to do the powerlifting and the personal training and stuff, and you was always quite an advocate of natural hard work and do your thing. And I've seen the frustration on your face when you've had comps on and stuff like that, and you just like, or you see videos and you're like, they're clearly using fucking steroids, they're using this, that, and the other, and it's a cheat. But do you know what I mean? That's becoming a common thing. I mean, in that world, it's well, you're not gonna. You said it yourself to me, like when you'd done some comps and stuff like that, and you're like, if I want to become successful and become like have this as a career or anything like that, I'm gonna have to take enhancements. I'm gonna have to do that because at the level I want to do, even though I'm proud of it. Obviously, you never went down that route, but you were proud of being natural and putting that hard work in.
Definitely.
There was no money in that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
That's the frustrating thing, isn't it? And I think that's the same with a lot of industries.
But then it comes back to like back then. It was for me. It was like I need to be successful. But that was someone else's version of success.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm nowhere near where that sort of thing is. But I'm over here, and I've got my own success. And this whole thing and everything stems from validation from other people. When I used to put, I need to win, I need to do this, I need to lift the heaviest weight off the floor. Please tell me I'm strong. Please tell me I'm worth something.
Yeah.
And I don't have anyone tell me that I'm worth something anymore because I'm worth something to me.
Yeah.
And learning that lesson and taking a while to process what that meant. I will do the odd run here and there, and I'll lift a few weights to be fit for my longevity of life and to make just me feel good for me.
Yeah.
I'm not crying out for someone to tell me that I'm worth something because at the time, and I used to think I stripped back all the weights, I stripped back the bodybuilding, the powerlifting, and I've said it multiple times. But I'm thinking back to it now, when I was in that, I'd be like, if I don't have that, I'm not good at anything. I
remember you saying that to me. Actually, you said, "Well, if I don't win this, what's the fucking point? It's the only thing I'm good at." And I was like, and I said it to you, and obviously it takes your own experience and your own sort of journey to have that sink in. And I said, you're good at lots of shit, man. But like, I mean, you've always been quite an obsessive person, which for better or for worse, because you achieve stuff by having that mentality. But sometimes it can affect other aspects of your life. It
affected my whole life, man. It consumed me completely. There was, everything was just based around how much weight I could lift off the floor, how many veins I had in my abs, how many, to the point where it was making me ill. And for the sake of what? Like whether or not I've got fucking an 8-pack or whether I've got a flat stomach or whether I've got a beer belly, we're going to end up in the ground eventually. So we might, don't sacrifice everything in life and every aspect of life that you can enjoy and experience for one thing of somebody else's version of success that you will probably never meet on their version of success and who they are. They're not important to your life. You need to ask yourself, if you want to bodybuild for you. Do it because this is something that you want. Not and then if you don't win the competition and be like, no, that's it. I'm worthless in life now because it's not that. Like, do you need to do things for you? And it took me a long time to realise. Do what you want to do. Take time for yourself. And before I've been through times, I've been like, what does that mean? Focus on me. What does that mean? I
said that like, we've had we've had these conversations, haven't we? Where like when we've had our heart to hearts and stuff like that. If you've had a tough time, I'm just like, dude, you just need to concentrate on you. And you're like, what's that mean?
Yeah,
like,
it took me a long time to realise that what that means is just do things that will make you happy. If you want to learn how to play a fucking piccolo, learn how to play bloody piccolo. If you want to go to Portugal for 4 days next week and you got the time off and the money, fucking go for it. Like, whatever you want to do, what is going to bring you happiness. And whether that's me buying a furry leopard print jacket that everyone
Yeah.
thinks is weird and probably think I'm gay. But if you want to think I'm gay, that's either way, because it does not give a fuck to me. Because
Yeah.
that opinion I take it and I put it out the window, because
Yeah.
it's irrelevant to me. If I
Yeah.
want to wear a leopard print jacket because I feel good in a leopard print jacket, then a leopard print jacket I shall wear.
Yeah.
Good sir.
Yeah. But I do like, just with the whole like the bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff. I do think that it. I think do it for yourself. Obviously, as a first and foremost, but don't do it for an expected level of like success. And I say that in inverted commas, of like, you need to, for me, like with the tattooing, it's my dream career, and I don't really want to do anything else with my life. Like, I want to grow and do all the bits and bobs, but in this society, obviously, you do need money. You need to earn from it. You can't dedicate. It's very, very unlikely that you will be happy in all aspects of your life if you're doing a career where you're not making any money. If you're, do you know what I mean? So
you spend, especially for, you spend a large percentage of your life at work, and especially for the job I work 12.5 hour shifts. So, I technically spend more than half my day and half my time at work.
yeah,
So for me, I'm in a career that I love, and it is that whole thing. I know hard work has to go in, and you get out what you put in. But if you've got a passion for something, I honestly believe if you do a job you love or do a career you love, you will never work a day in your life.
yeah,
And I'll live by that fucking phrase.
yeah. I'm 100% back that, man. Like, that's it for me. And the thing is, I see myself as successful, again in inverted commas, because that's it's your own success. But like for me, as long as I can earn enough to get by doing what I love, that's fine. If I can earn more, then fucking brilliant. I can keep trying to push that and smash that. But as long as I can continue doing this, still have a roof over my head for me and my family, it's sorted. Do you know what I mean? I can eat every day. It's all good.
That's it, man.
100% agree. If I can earn more, that means that I can eat more every day or have a bigger roof over my head, then so be it. But I will break my balls to achieve that a little bit, but I'm not going to break them to the point where there's nothing left of me. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And if you have them goals there, it's great to have them. But then if you don't reach them in the time frame that you give yourself and you fall short slightly, again, you don't lose, you learn. And that doesn't mean I haven't done what I've set out to do. Oh my God, I can't, I've not achieved what I needed to. Right, well, if you still want to achieve that, take 2 steps back, assess what it is that went wrong with that, and then go for it again with this newfound information of how to achieve that. And then that goal here, oh no, I've fallen here. The goal's still there.
Yeah.
You just carry on, we carry on moving. If you want a goal, you want something so passionately, get it.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, it sounds daft to say it so simply, but that is literally the way.
Just people overcomplicate stuff, man. Sometimes it just needs stripping back to that.
Yeah.
Like all the fog of fucking all the shit that we get for our news and our media and all this, that, and the other. Look over here, look over here, look over here. Have you seen this? You seen this going on right now? Oh well, where do I go? What do I like? Just fucking. Are you happy? No, right. What's not making you happy? I think this.
Yeah.
Fuck that off. All right. I'm happy now.
Yeah. There you go. Simple as.
Simple as, honestly. Yeah. And it, for a very complicated way around fucking saying it, it's just simple as. Just find what makes you happy and be fucking happy, and you will have a good life. Yeah. From my perspective.
Do you think the likes of depression and anxiety and all that sort of stuff can be cured? Or do you think it's a case of just living with it and you're learning to cope with it? Or what?
I think people do have especially with like depression and stuff, there is a chemical imbalance there. But I mean, it's the one reason I didn't want to go on any pills or anything, because then you are further messing with the imbalances. And I know some people do need to use it, which is okay because you have your own ways of dealing with it. But like I've been told by yourself and a few other people, if you do go on to like pills or therapy, you are given the tools for your own head to sort out the problems. You can have all the pills in the world, but if you're not willing to move forward and you don't want to be happy and you want to carry on sitting and dwelling in this, pills ain't gonna do shit.
No, it's
therapy
not.
Ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, right. If you've got, like, for argument's sake, I don't know, abusive parents, or we'll go with that. Like, say you've got abusive parents, you're a teenager, you're still living at home, whatever, and you're depressed or you've had some trauma. If that's your problem, there's no pill on the market that you take and
that gets rid of that problem.
No, that's always been the thing for me. Is you need take the pill to get rid of the fog and be able to sort of compartmentalize and sort stuff out, but then you need to go get yourself some counselling. You need to work through that problem. You need to process it, and like you say, use that as a tool to move forward.
The problems and everything that you manifest is from your own head.
Yeah.
So your own head is the one that can solve that. If that makes sense. Like, you are in control of yourself, but it just takes a while after being conditioned certain ways and whatnot to start realizing that. And the more you start believing something, the more it eventually starts to change your mindset. I was this fucking close to going on pills, man, for depression and anxiety. This fucking close, and I just told myself I'm in fucking control, man.
Yeah.
And then over the space of 3 or 4 weeks, man, I realised I'm in fucking control.
Yeah.
And I am.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. It's not that easy for everybody.
No, not at all. No, I get it, because I know a lot of people have suffered different things, and again, that is subjective to me, and that is the way I've dealt with it. And there is nothing wrong with going on medication if that is what you need to help sort you on it. But it's the common phrase there is, if that's what you need to help you sort you.
Yeah.
For me, it ended up not being pills to help me sort me. For someone else, it might be. But whatever tool it is, everybody's got a different fucking toolbox.
Yeah.
You've just got to find which tool is right to start mending yourself.
Yeah, I do think that there's people that end up on these pills, like, sort of long term, because they're not solving the problems. They're just using it as it's just a not a coping mechanism, but just a smoke screen to their problems.
It's a mask in it, It's why I got into smoking weed, booze, everything like that to mask problems, man. Because I realised I didn't want to deal with it, because it was easier being out my head than actually realising that I was unhappy.
Yeah.
And when I realised that, I knew coming off all the stuff eventually would make me happy, because I would have to sort my problems, but I had to go through the shit of addressing my problems.
Yeah.
And you get out what you put in, and I knew, right, I can't mask it anymore with all this stuff and this fake happiness, so to speak. And then I went through a fucking load of shit, but then equal and opposite, the amount of shit that I've gone through, you flip that over, now I'm reaping the rewards of the happiness from it.
Yeah. And I mean, I know as well, like, obviously, I mean, you've gone, you haven't even had a drink or anything for
53 days now.
53 days. I mean, like, may not sound like a big achievement to some people, but, like, for yourself, you just went, that's it. No, I need to keep, and that's a piece of advice that I've given to a few people over the years that have, gone really bad, in the sense of hard drugs, fucking ridiculous lifestyles, and I've said to them, like, don't kid yourself into, like, oh, I'm going to go clean for 2 or 3 days and then it'll be all right. I'm like, you need to give yourself, 6 months, a year or something like that, and let your body actually
adapt and adjust to it.
Readjust and go back to, as natural as you can be, without all these things affecting you, and then realise how much that will actually affect your mental health, just doing that.
Again, like, things that I say as well is things in life that are worth having don't come easy. And if you go, you'll go through them get them first couple of weeks, you'll go through withdrawals, and if you are suffering with mental health issues anyway, and using substances and drink to mask that, when you come off, you are going to feel a lot worse, and like it's having the adverse detrimental effect because you're going through those withdrawals.
Yeah, it
And
definitely helps to have a good support system.
if you got a good support system around you, you are a lot more likely to get through it because you are then not isolated. And again, which we said about lockdown and isolating people and sitting with yourself, and you've only got your own thoughts to think with. It's difficult, man. You need to have other people's perspectives and other people to just fucking converse with, to
give you a leg up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more you have that around you, the more you can get out of your own head in that sense, and you get people to still remind you that you're doing well and that you're doing the right thing and that and the other, and you don't overthink as much. And when you don't overthink as much, it's like a lot of that fog is cleared for you. And for a while, until you can do it on your own to a certain extent, you need to keep people wafting the fog away so you can carry on seeing until you're able to do it on your own 2 feet.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people get very wrapped up in thinking they're alone when they're not.
Massively.
Do you know what I mean? And I think they do. I think there's a very much a lack of people just talking enough about it. And I mean, I've always been an advocate of the whole sort of ask twice thing, and are you all right? Yeah, particularly with like male mental health. There's a lot going on there and a lot to unpack in general, and males in general sort of close themselves off. They're very much like scared of it. I'm glad to see the change now. There's been a lot of change over the years, and it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Like they said, there has been a lot of stigma over it, and everyone's got to be a fucking big macho man and do this, that, and the other. And it's like, but the same way of like black, white, the same. Fucking woman, man, the same.
Yeah.
And, different nationalities, the same. We're all fucking pink on the inside, mate.
Yeah, like, we're all humans.
We're all fucking human beings, and we will all suffer with the same things, man. And we have been categorized again by fucking medias and different things to tell us that we need to do a certain thing, act a certain way, buy a certain product. We need to realize that we are all the fucking same. Yeah, we are all individual, but in the sense of we will suffer the same issues, and we need to be asking the woman down the road, are you all right? We need to be asking the fucking big bodybuilder meeting in the gym, are you all right? The little 5-year-old kid, are you all right? Like, nobody gets to tell somebody else that their feelings are not valid.
No. Yeah, I'm well with you on that, mate. Like, it's so strange. I do think that it's changing. It's definitely changing, and
there's a lot happening, man.
Yeah, I do think people are more aware. I'm hoping we don't just drop into the old ways too much after lockdown. People going a bit crazy, but I don't know. I think there needs to be more talk about it, but then I don't know. It's just a bit of it's a minefield, to be fair, of the way people think.
It'll unfold the way it unfolds. We can have our perspectives and we can do our little part, because, like I say, it's the little things that make the big differences.
Yeah.
But I do also think it will unfold how it'll unfold. I think change is happening, which is good to see across the board with a lot of things. But again, whatever happens, we will roll with the punches, and we will adapt to the situations. And when we see an issue, we can do our part to try and correct that issue and try and express, I don't know, our perspective or my perspective, your perspective to others, and even if it affects one person that is struggling or something, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say, then it's made that difference. Every life is just as important. So whether you affect 100 people from something you say, or whether you affect one person, like at the end of the day,
Be more
that one life is as important as every other fucking life.
Yeah, being more mindful of the things you do and say and all that, and how it can affect others. But then on the other side of the balance, it's that whole sort of cancel culture, offended nation of like,
it's
being worried about your individuality compared to how others will feel, and I think it's very much a tightrope to be walked at the minute, especially even like for us as content creators. Just the fact that you have to be careful what you say, but then you have to be individual. You have to say what you think, because there's no substance to not saying what you think. That's it.
No, I think one of the biggest things is being able to have a laugh at yourself as well. And I think a lot of people are so fucking like if something's seriously affecting someone, take that seriously and, try and help people through it. Try and bring up the positivity. Yeah. But through stuff, it's like, I'm offended by you made an Indian accent on that joke. I'm offended by that. All right, be offended. What the fuck happens? I didn't mean it as a racial slur or anything like that. We did it to bring laughter. Yeah. And that is done in a way which is very apparent to see, because people want to spread positivity and smiles, and also include different cultures, with the example of an Indian accent. Well, people are like, no, I'm offended by that. I'm like, well, be fucking offended then. Go be offended at the other side of the fucking room with all the other losers. Honestly, it does gripe me a bit.
Like, I think especially because it's been bowed down to quite a bit. So like, for me, I'm like, I'm sorry if I offended you. That wasn't my my intention. Yeah. This is the context in which I said it. I don't have an issue with this particular group or person or whatever. It was just a comment. Yeah. Stop burning people at the stake for
massively. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get at, and I actually do sound like listening to myself back. That was a bit hypocritical in me saying that someone's feelings aren't valid, because if someone is offended, then they are. That they have the right there to be offended by that. So I do retract that to a certain extent. But it's the people that say they're offended by everything. Yeah. And it's like, well, are you offended by that though, or are you just looking for something else to bring negativity into and spread that?
Again, they're in control of that. They're in control of that off switch on the YouTube channel, on the post. Oh, you're falling over there, mate. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. So like, they're in control of turning that off. I know. I'm a big believer, fight the good fight. If you see racial stuff on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, or in real life, call it out. If you see fascist stuff, like if something you're against, call it out. But don't expect to change everybody's opinion. Do you know what I mean? Massively. And don't let that affect you too much. You need to know when to roll the punches, when to what is it? Know when to hold them, when to fold them. But but I think a lot of people get too bogged down in that of I need to change the world.
You can't change everyone, man. This is getting sort of deep on it and everything, but. Like I say, you're in control of yourself, and the more you fix yourself and find what makes you happy, the more that is going to spread to other people. I find I've made people laugh in the last few weeks, which brings me happiness because I'm happy, and then that spreads that positivity. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I ain't spreading no happiness, mate.
In fairness, I mean, obviously, not a lot of people will know this, but there is a particular episode of the Utopia Project where you were the saddest I've ever seen you, and you can see where it comes from in a lot of the Hollywood stuff, and the fact that it was one of our best episodes, and you was probably at the peak of your comedic ability, but it's really tough. And obviously, I asked you, I won't mention which one it is, but I asked you, I was like, are you okay with this going out? And you're like, mate, it's fucking hilarious. And it's like, well, to watch that knowing what you were going through put a whole different context on it for me. But then, loads of people who are, our general sort of fans, shall we say, are like, mate, it's hilarious, it's brilliant, but they
And
don't know the. And
that's
it's
why I look back, man, and I just think if that's spreading that positivity, then regardless, I was separated those feelings from how I was feeling, and I can say, oh, I didn't want to go and act because this, that, and the other. But then something that potentially might make someone laugh or might brighten up someone else's day, that is what is going to make me happy.
Yeah.
And I will do that. And like I was saying, with if you the happier you can make yourself, and the happier you can make yourself without validation from others and putting your happiness on other people, you will find it will spread to a lot more people than you think.
Yeah. Before we wrap all this up, how have you found the Utopia Project since joining? Obviously, it was. I know it's a slight tangent, but since we're mentioning it,
it's bloody shambles, isn't it?
Yeah. But you hadn't really done any sort of like this sort of platform before.
At all. I hadn't done really any sort of platform, to be honest, before this. But I don't know. I just, again, like, even from that, like, I've learned a lot of lessons through doing the Utopia Project, and now I'm just me, and people take it or they leave it. Like, so they know where the off button is, but more people seem to know where the on button is at the moment, and so should you as well for the Utopia Project. The on button, subscribe.
I'll put a button up in post for you, mate.
Mate.
But I mean, I've enjoyed you coming on, and it's quite weird because you approached us in a sense, because me and you were just chatting about it, weren't we? I was just like, oh, well, I think, Matt's leaving and we're looking for somebody else. And you was like, I'll do it. And I was like, well, I'll ask Jack. I don't see why not. And it just
I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. And you just, I mean, I don't, what was going through your mind? Like, was it just like, I fancy me a bit of that, or?
At the time, I think it was like the first, like, again, I still believe in everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But at the time, with the shit I was going through, it was, I need focuses to take my mind off other stuff.
Yeah.
So when it was like, do this, new hobby, boom, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get on it. And then going from there, it was getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, but because I needed that focus there to grasp, and I was willing to then put myself in an uncomfortable position with something that I was not, that I didn't have much knowledge on. Yeah. But then it's that sink or swim sort of thing. Yeah. And it's just like, right, well, if you want to do this and focus on it 100%, go balls deep into it and do it well, and just enjoy it, and just enjoy it. Yeah. And from then, and the more I enjoy it, for me, the more other people enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely are the like, I wouldn't say unsung hero, but one of the heroes of the show. Just because, I mean, obviously, if anybody has watched the show and then come here, they'll see a very different side of you on this show. But obviously,
I'll just bring some bloody nonsense.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, we're all like that on TUP, because, like, it's sort of a snapshot, and we don't play a character, because you are very much like how you are in Utopia Project in real life. But I suppose this is just that flip side of, this guy isn't like this 24/7. He can sit down and have sensible conversations. He's not, do you know what I mean? Because but it is still you. Even though it's more a bit of an exaggerated version of you, I guess, for the show.
Yeah, a few different aspects to me, and mainly, again, I mean, everything that I've said tonight links in with how I am on the podcast, and when I'm not having a conversation that gets so deep, I am pretty much how I'm on the podcast, because that now is maybe not from the first few episodes with this stuff I was dealing with, but especially the last 2 or 3. Yeah, that I does what I says on tin.
Yeah,
like, I'm just
for a good time,
enjoying myself. Yeah, here for a good time, and still hopefully for a long time. Yeah, and it's why Utopia Project is good, though, because with everybody's busy lives and everybody getting bogged down with certain things and all this, that, and the other, it is that hour episode a week where you can step back and you don't have to take life too seriously.
Yeah.
and you can just fucking have a laugh. And yes, it is nonsense, but everybody needs a bit of fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, although we have the stresses of obviously recording it and trying to get stuff set up and stuff like that, I enjoy the fact that even though I suppose for me, because I'm doing the like soundboards and sort of driving it, so to speak, is that little bit more stressful. But I love the fact as well, and a lot of people have said as well, part of its charm is the fact that it's so rough and ready, and that we do genuine, panic, man. And shit fucks up,
it's
and all that.
It's genuine. It's genuine. Yeah. It's not all this fake sort of fucking needs to be all like this, that, and the other. The more you try and get something perfect, the more the ideology of something being perfect and perfection, the more you fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, again, it comes back to the whole, there's beauty in art in everything, the way you look at it. And all the fuck ups are beautiful and it is all artistic. But the more you try and get something so fine-tuned and tight and tightly wound and like that, that's when it snaps.
Yeah. I do think, especially with our show, I do think that the one time, or maybe all the visuals work fine, all the audio is fine, there's no snags or anything like that, it won't feel like an episode.
I'll just burn the studio down at the end.
Yeah. I feel like we'll just be like, it doesn't
this
feel
went
right.
too well.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, how was it when you first came to do it for that like first episode?
Nerve-wracking, man. Like, yeah. Because it was something that was new to me, and it was a bit like I was stepping into unknown waters, along with the idea I need to do this right, I need to do that right, I need to do that, yeah. I need to do that. But now, especially I learned something every episode. I learn a little bit more about what I'm finding. But again, like, it's just not even process. About the process. But I think for me now, it's not even about recording it more. If I can share the positivity of my idiocy, then that's great. But yeah, I get together and it's that hour, not even an hour, because we get together and we set up a recording, and we're pretty much like how we are on the podcast for the whole day that we're together setting up. Yeah. And it's that time again to step back and just act like a bit of a silly billy or a bit of a numpty. Yeah. Because that is an important part of life. And if you don't find fun and like that in life, then you're missing a big trick, man. And,
yeah, man.
But yeah, like now, I'll be me, and I'll be happy with me. And if people don't like me, they don't have to like me. If they do like me, I'm glad to bring some fucking, bring a smile to someone's face. And then that, again, simplifying it back. If I can make someone smile, man, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, hopefully this episode has made people inspired and happy in that, mate. I think we'll leave it there. If you're happy with that.
I could do a bloody fag, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, mate.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to be on.
I'm not sure when it will be going out. I'm basically bulk recording a load of them, and then we'll...
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'll let you know when they go out. But yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. And obviously I'll probably see you in the next couple of days anyway. No, it's not
That's no worries.
All right, mate. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Oh, by the way, if anybody's got a working toilet, mine's fucked at the moment. Apparently, they need to take it out. So if I can come use your toilet, and if you've got a chocolate digestive, but I'm quite hungry as well. I do like digestive, so just let us know. Okay. You got a digestive? I'll see you in a minute. Right, I'm off to yours. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
So there we have it, guys. That was episode 1 of the Chunky Tea and Friends show. That was, of course, the Permanent Sharpy. Go check him out on all the socials and whatnot. And don't forget to check out our show that we do together called the Utopia Project. You can find that on YouTube. It'll be linked in the description as well. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that. And if you found some solace with this, then let me know in the comments. Let me know who you want me to talk to or anything like that, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers, guys.